Within the cross system, it's possible to provision services by API, and that's what we're going to do now. What we've got set up here on the right is the cross system, and on the left is a REST emulator. So from this, we're going to send some commands to cross and ask it to provision a service. Now, the location for the service is here, and you can see in the locality tree that there is no CPE equipment and there's nothing to host the service on really at this address. So what we're going to use API provisioning to create that. So let's look at the first one, and this is a simple address check where we're saying, does this address exist? And it's the same address on both sides. So if we execute that, yes, we have a positive response that that address exists, and importantly, we get an ID, which is what we're going to use in the next step. So in the next step, what we want to do is check the resource availability of technologies. So what technologies are available to this site? And we have pre-provisioned the ID. We execute that. We get a list back of technologies. And it's quite long, so I'm not going to go through every one, but these are the technologies available to that site. Then the next check is what products are available to that customer. So now we're checking the product catalog, see, what products can that customer have. So if we execute that, here again is the list of products that are available at that site to that customer. Again, it's quite a long list. So if we close that, the last step is to request a design. So here we're saying, right, we want you to create a DSL service to that customer. It's a DSL internet service. So again, we execute and we get a response. And it's telling us the details and the parameters of that service. So that's all been done through external API via the cross system. So let's go and have a look and see what's turned up in this location. So now, if we expand the tree, we can see here's a CPE that wasn't there before. And that's what has been created by the flow-through provisioning. Now, if we come back to the REST side and just click on Created Service, that's then going to show us the service that was created. And it's an internet access service, and we can see here by going to the circuit view more details on that service. Expand it. Here's the full details in circuit terms, but in this case it's probably easier to look at it in the schema. And I'll just zoom out a little bit. The top level, that's the end-to-end circuit. That's the connection to VRF to provide the internet access. But further down, we can see all the patching and connections that have been made in order to provision that service at the local level. And if you look at all of these, they'll correspond to the response we got back from the API query.